the railroads were a big asset of moving people and goods from point A to point B and stuff. And during the Civil War, it was really helped the war effort. But after the Civil War, there were a lot of people that were out there with really nothing to do. And the railroads was a quick way of making a buck. And how would you make a buck if you were out there and you weren't working on the railroads? You were stealing from the railroads, which is not a good thing to do. Our biggest outlaws, legendary outlaws, Frank and Jesse James, were Confederate war veterans. And they basically had nothing to do. Jesse James was a lad who killed many a man, robbed that Glendale train. People all did say, many miles away, robbed by Frank and Jesse James. Well, Jesse had a wife and mourned for his life, 3 children and they were gray. But that dirty little coward that shot Mr. Howard and laid poor Jesse in his grave. Well, somebody robbed that Glendale train this morning at 9:30. But somebody robbed that Glendale train. Well, I swear I ain't lying. They made clean up with 16 G's and left 2 men lying cold. Somebody robbed that Glendale train. They made up with that gold. Well, Charlie Jones was that engineer. He had 20 years on the line. I kissed his wife at the station gate this morning at 6:35. Oh, everything went fine till 9:30 when Charlie looked out and he saw some men on the horses and men with guns and no sign of that love. Well, somebody robbed that. I'm going to sing you some songs of the South. Is that train moving?
Here it goes.
There
We're heading south. We're going
to the south
by the Mason-Dixon line.
So next, this song right here, sang by our lovely Carolyn Dunn.
I wish I was in the land of cotton. Old times there are not forgotten. Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland, in Dixieland, where I was born in early on a frosty morning. Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland.
Oh, I wish I was in Dixie, away, away in Dixieland. I'll take my stand to live and die in Dixie. Away,
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 away down south in Dixie. Away,
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 away down south in Dixie. Did you know that our state song was written by a fellow who never set foot in our state? That's right. A fellow by the name of Stephen Foster wrote a song called Swanee River while living in Bardstown, Kentucky. I've been to Bardstown, Kentucky. Ain't nothing like Florida. I don't know how he got it, but it wound up being our state song. And so this is called Swanee River. Ready?
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4. Way down upon the Swanee River, far away. That's where my heart is turning ever. There's where the old folks stay. All up and down the whole creation, still longing for home. Still longing for that old plantation and for the old folks at home.
Sing along.
All the world is sad and dreary everywhere I roam. Oh, brothers, how my heart grows weary, far from the old folks at home.
I'm going to bow this bass this time, so it's gonna sound different now than, you know, before I was going like this and plucking the strings. So now it's going to sound like this. Isn't that cool? Woo, gives me chills. I got to make sure it's not too tight here. And I put rosin on my bow before I came. Is there any violin players? Yeah, so you know you got to rosin up your bow, you know, because otherwise it slips like this. So there's a lot of violin players. Well, then you'll know if I hit the wrong note, then, won't you? I'm nervous now.
Out west, the cowboys had a hard life, and sometimes they'd go on these long trails. They have things called, there was one place called the Loving Trail, which went way up into the mountains. It was very beautiful. And one of the things about a cowboy is that they would ride all day long, and then they would pull out a guitar or a harmonica or something. And after the campfires started to die, and after everybody eaten their supper and bedded down, there would be this one fellow that have to stand out there and watch the cattle. And he'd play a song or sing or do something to keep the cattle calm. And this is one of the songs. It's called "Oh Home on the Range." The buffalo roam, and the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. The deer and the antelope play, where seldom the skies are not cloudy all day.
Now this is another song about the gold rush, which I didn't know this song was about the gold rush until we did some investigating and research on a lot of these songs. So see if I know you guys know this song.
And this is another one written by Stephen Foster, which is kind of interesting how you can write a song somewhere and it goes all over the place. Stephen Foster never set foot in Florida, and I'm sure he never set foot in California.
Well, I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. I'm going to Louisiana, my true love for to see. It rained all night the day I left, the weather it was dry. The sun so hot, I froze to death. Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me. I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. I had a dream the other night, everything was still. I saw Susanna, she was coming down the hill. The buckwheat cake was in her mouth, a tear was in her eye. Says, I am coming from the south, Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me. I come from Alabama with the banjo on my harmonica.
Oh, I think it's time for an audience participation. Careful what you volunteer for.
Man, okay. Tell you about it. In 1825, hold on for a second. In 1825, the Erie Canal was completed. And the Erie Canal basically connected the lakes with the Atlantic Ocean, which was a very big thing. Now, the Erie Canal is not very big. It's like about the Intercoastal. A little bit bigger than the Intercoastal. And as they would go through, this canal would go right through basically through the middle of town, people's backyards, and you would hang your laundry and look out and you'd see the barges go by with all sorts of stuff on them. People, goods, cattle sometimes, it would all be there and they'd be going from point A to point B. And one of the things about this song is that they'll say low bridge. And I mean, you were coming to town. And also it meant that if you were on the top of that barge, you better get your head down.
Yeah,
or you're going to be swimming.
You know, all the towns had a low bridge, you know, a real low bridge, and it would hit you on the head if you stood up on these boats.
And there were very few drawbridges at the time, so you had to. Well, let's try this out here. Here we go. Start us off, Carolyn. We hauled some barges in our day, filled with lumber, coal, and hay. We know every inch of the way from Albany to Buffalo. Low bridge, everybody down. Low bridge, for we're coming to a town. You'll always know your neighbor, you always know your pal, if you've ever navigated on the Erie Canal. All right, now let's see. You guys think you could do this dance? You think you could? All right, tell you what we're gonna do. You guys keep playing. going to be our solid gold dancers for the first round, okay? Okay, now you guys saw what I was doing, right? You saw what I was doing?
Bridge, everybody down. Low bridge, oh, we're coming to a town.
I think we should use the teachers to come on up here and help us out. Come on up here, teachers.
Here we go. Low bridge, everybody down. Low bridge, but we're coming to a town. Always know your neighbor, always know your pal. Never gate on the Erie Canal.
Here we go. Low bridge,
everybody down. Low bridge, but we're coming to a town.
You'll always know your neighbor. You'll always know your pal. If you've ever navigated on the Erie Canal.
Hey, teacher! Woo, good dancing! Yay!
Thank you, folks. Thank you so much. Well, I hope we've been able to enhance your social studies at this point in time, and being able to maybe we've told you some stuff that you don't know, and maybe we've told you some things you already know. But the idea that you go back and look, because it is things in the past that enrich our lives today, and things that have been done in the past that enrich our lives today. So I appreciate everyone coming out. I thank you, Mr. Ross, for putting this. For being the spearhead on putting this together. Please give him a big hand.
And thank Sam up in the media.
And the Sam up there.
Sam up there. Good
Give
job,
Sam a big hand. Thank you, Sam. We threw him a curveball at the last minute, and he's doing quite well. Okay. And thank you, teachers, for coming on down and spending part of your hard-earned day